supposed to be working in unison, but
Right.
feminism, breaks that off. And that's where we have to get to the point of where it's like, okay, we've tried to fix this. This isn't being fixed. And then here comes Passport Bros.
Damn, Purdy this?
I don't need no one to save me. I was born to be the greatest. All that time in that basement, all that time isn't wasted. Rapping getting faded. I just wanna tell my mom that I made it. Just wanna be the topic of the conversation. Used to rock the gold plated. Now I'm wearing gold chains like I'm famous.
But they're saying that the type of value that they're looking for is not being presented at that particular time in the West. Would that be a good way of saying it?
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. So what it is that what feminism promotes is essentially trying to take the men's value away from them and saying that the women have the same values as men, and that is just, yes, of course, you have different nuances and things of that sort where things can happen, but
Right.
that's not the societal norms, right? So you mentioned the red pill. The red pill is essentially the Bible, and the Bible says that the woman is supposed to be the man's helpmate, and the helpmate is extremely important because the man is the head of the house and the woman is the neck. So
Yeah, and the neck that turns the head, right?
right, exactly.
Okay.
So we're supposed to be working in unison, but
Right.
feminism, breaks that off. And that's where we have to get to the point of where it's like, okay, we've tried to fix this. This isn't being fixed. And then here comes Passport Bros, because Passport Bros are going to where places where the men are the head and the women are the neck, and that's understood, and they're able to move in unison. In the West, there's no unison.
Okay.
You can't zigzag. Sorry, I just wanted to
Oh, you're good.
further elaborate. So you can't zigzag. You can't go this way. I go this way. We're not moving. We're not moving in the same direction. We need to be moving together as a unit. But I need to be the head of the unit, and I understand you need to support me in my movements. It's like driving a car, right? It's like driving a car, Todd. So if I'm making a left turn, and you can't use your right signal,
Right.
you get into an accident.
Right. What do you think about the concept that has been prevalent? That, let me go back to Dominique Dawes and her husband. There was some controversy when her husband said that he was the prize, and there was a lot of uproar because, again, we know that Dominique Dawes she's very popular. She's famous, an Olympic champion. Extraordinarily good at what she does.
Right.
But I shouldn't say but. Let me just say, however, her husband is extremely good at what he does as well. And so when he talked about him being the prize, a lot of people were in an uproar, up in arms. Would you define that as the feminist movement coming after him in that regard? And how do you, in this situation, how would you respond to that controversy?
Well, yes, and Dominique Dawes, she, great Olympian, great champion. Her husband, but he's the leader, and so what she is saying is that her husband is the leader, and she respects him as being the leader, and so being the prize. I think that feminism has taken that, and they're trying to say that, oh, the woman has no value, and that the woman is just supposed to do whatever the man says. No, that's not at all. Being the prize is saying that I am the leader and I know that I have the responsibility to lead this family. And you, as the wife, you are supposed to be supporting me. Right. And so for the woman to support the man, she has to trust that man. So for him to come out and say that he's the prize and that she completely supports him, right? So that means that they are moving in unison, right? They're both making the left turn. They're both making the right turn. They're in the fast lane. They're in the middle lane. If they decide to get off an exit, they get off the exit.
Right.
But the man is saying, you know what? I want to get up this exit. And then she says, okay, baby, I support that. And the woman is saying, oh, well, we both can drive a car. No, this isn't driver's school.
Right.
When they had driver's school and then you're learning how to drive. And then if you make the wrong turn, the instructor would he would basically like reroute the car of where it's going. No, that's not what it is. Modern day feminism has essentially tried to, or not trying, is breaking families apart by this narrative that they're pushing.
Right. Okay. I need to make a correction. It's Simone Biles. I said Dominic
Simone
Biles.
Biles. Right.
Yes.
Yes.
So I apologize to
yeah, but I knew who you were talking about.
Right.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So apologies on my end as well.
Yeah. But I think that you're right. I think there's all men and women are created equal until you leave the hospital. Then we ain't equal no more. Okay. Because we go into different environments, right? And then all behavior is learned. And so our worldview is conceived in the environment in which we go to and with the environment in which we're raised in. And so I think what happens in our Western culture at the moment, specifically in the melanated community, is that there has been a feeling of being overlooked and undervalued for such a long period of time that the pendulum has swung all the way to the other side. And so modern day men are catching hell for the sins of our great grandfathers and our fathers in the past. How would you respond to that?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, right. So, do you remember this movie? It was this movie called Soul Food.
Yes.
Right. So, us in the Black community in the West, typically it's the grandmama who's the matriarch of the family, and with our community, it always seems as though the woman is the matriarch of the family. And not saying that, not saying that Big Mama isn't strong or anything, but those ideals have been cascaded by hurt women, whether it be from Big Mama, auntie, someone's mom. And what ends up happening, especially in our community with the single parent homes, the men are usually brought up to be soft and not leaders, and then the women are brought up to be masculine. So, and it's in our community specifically to where it's way off kilter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
I mean,
so